This is episode 50 of the Rise Up Podcast. We're a morning radio show hosted by Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life, a network of stations across New York and Pennsylvania. Our podcast is a weekly conversation that will help you think and grow in your faith. If you haven't already, subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode, and find out more about our show at familylife.org.
We hope the rest of your day is just as much fun as this. You're listening to Rise Up on Family Life.
I know, Terese, you've been talking about getting rid of some things in this 2023.
Oh, yeah.
You've had some success so far, right? You've gotten rid of some
I've gotten
things.
like 3 boxes of books donated and got some things thrown away. It's been good, like getting rid of some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I have I can't remember the last time I got rid of one of these, and I have plenty of them. Maybe you do too. Maybe you're better at getting rid of them than I am. But I pick up my phone and look at the contact list in my phone. and I look at that contact list and I say, wait a minute, I haven't talked to that person in maybe 10 years.
Or like, who is that?
Yeah, I've done that too.
Like especially if you only save it from the first name and then you're like, oh, what do I do? Do I like send the person a text and be like, do I know you?
So some of my favorites are, I have another Kevin, ? Don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes use emojis next to the person's name?
Oh, I
like
haven't.
if you meet them at a certain place, like if it's a friend you go bowling with, you put like Tim and then you put like a bowling pin icon next to their name so you can remember where they're from.
That. No, that's clever.
I sometimes do that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I could do that. Well, I could probably honestly get rid of this one Craigslist reference.
But and it came in handy recently. I keep my contacts, and all of a sudden, I got a text about 2 weeks ago from somebody who I haven't had any contact in probably in a dozen years. And they live far away, and all of a sudden I got this text, and it said, I know what it said. It said, wakey, wakey. And I had
to which the proper reply,
well, is eggs and bakey.
Or eggs, bacon emoji, but yeah, either way.
Right, either way. Anyway, but I'm like, and I knew right away, it's like, well, this person obviously meant this for someone else. But if I had gotten that anonymous, like with just a number and not a name, I would have had no idea who that came from. But I did know who it came from. So I'm so glad I did not get rid of that contact. And then we did finally have a little conversation, via text. So it was kind of nice to do that. But do you guys commonly get rid of contact lists in your names in your phone?
I don't, because for one thing, you never know when people are going to circle back around in your life.
Right.
And especially with the work I do, like a lot of times I'll deal with people in the music industry, and somebody might leave from a certain position, but chances are they're going to resurface like in another position with somebody else or, another company. And so it's like, well, then I already have their info. So, and I don't know, I guess I've seen too many times where it's like God will take somebody out of your life, but then they put them back in your life. And so you take away all that awkwardness. The other thing is, have you ever gotten like on your birthday a text from somebody that sends you like this really sweet, beautiful birthday wish? And you're like, I don't have your name in my contacts. So you feel bad because you're like, I obviously mean something to this person, and now they're going to know that they don't mean that much to me. Right. And so I feel bad, but then I'm always scared that like if my phone or my email gets hacked, is every one of those people going to get like an awkward email or text from me? Like so there's that too. I just never do it. Like I don't see it, so I don't think about it, I guess.
You get rid of your contacts?
It's in the better to have and not need, the need not have category for me. Like I can think of like a very few times where I've thought, why do I still have Isaac from philosophy class, who was my class project team member once? I've been upset sometimes that I've almost clicked on that Isaac instead of my other buddy Isaac, who I actually keep in contact with. Minor frustration compared to really needing somebody's number and totally being on the hook because I can't find it anywhere. So for like the minor inconvenience of accidentally hitting the wrong contact once in a while, no, I keep them around. And I think the point is very much like what you said, Terese, is like you don't know. When you delete it, it feels kind of final, like saying, I'll never have a need to communicate with this person again. I don't really know that.
When God, and this happens to all of us, when God puts someone on your heart and you haven't talked to them in many, many, many years, perhaps, but then you get the name and it's like, hey, wait a minute, let me go to my contact list. And sure enough, there's the name that you haven't gotten rid of in 10 or 15 years. And you could send them a text or call them, which if you had thrown away that contact list, you would have had like, yes, I can pray for them and that's good. But now I can actually call them.
Sure.
So if you do call or text, it might be good to start out your communication not assuming that they still have you
That's true.
in their contacts.
Yes, good-
you might say,
good
you know,
point.
like, hey, it's so-and-so. Remember we blah, blah, blah together. I just want you to know I'm praying for you or something like that so that they don't have to send back that awkward, like, who is this? I don't
Thanks,
have you in
who
my
dis?
contacts.
Yeah,
Right.
you've meant so much to me over the years. And then blah, 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 blah. Great. Who's this? Yeah, I get
Awkward.
that. But here's another thing that made me think of the contact list and getting rid of names. Maybe we as human beings have not, we've had someone in our contact list for, I'm just throwing out 10 years. But we haven't had a communication at all. Sometimes the human spirit goes like, well, they haven't talked to me in 10 years. They don't care about me and whatever happens. Or it just made me thankful that God is not like that. Let's say we go a day or two without talking to God, a week or two, God forbid, a month or two or more, as we know we should on a daily basis, and continuing to talk with God. But see, if you haven't talked with God in a long, long, long time, He's always available. You don't need a contact list and a phone. God is always available for you, and God will always be there for you. He won't have that human spirit of like, well, you haven't talked to me in a while. I'm not going to listen. If you go to God and you haven't talked to Him in a while, maybe the best day to do that is today, right now. If you haven't had time to be alone with God and talk to Him, now is the perfect time.
We weren't sure how you liked your coffee, so we didn't make any. Hope that's okay. It's Rise Up with Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life.
As we get started into this new year, lots of people are going to be predicting, trends like the color of the year and what's going to happen with fashion. And there's a food trend you're going to be seeing more of. In fact, this trend kind of started at the end of last year. It is Swayze.
I haven't heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Swayze is a mashup between sweet and spicy. So if you've seen like hot honey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Swayze. Or chocolate bars with chili in them. You're going to see more of that. And I am so willing to give this a try. Not because I like hot foods, because I don't like hot foods. But man, is there anything more fun to say than Swayze?
Can there be a thing? Will there be a Swayze charcuterie?
That's a swasibility.
That's a mouthful in every way.
Anyone else wish morning started just a little later? Yeah, we get that. It's Rise Up with Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life.
Good word for the morning. Matutinal.
Matutinal. I love that word. Never heard it before.
I don't even know what this word means, and I'm already a fan because you just want to say like matutinal.
Well, here's how you can say it. Well, we are your friends in the morning, so we're your matutinal companions. It means having to do with the morning, matutinal. So breakfast is your matutinal meal of the day.
This nice matutinal brewed beverage.
Look at that. That's your
love
coffee,
that word.
right?
That's
Go
good.
for your matutinal jog. And if you're a morning person, well, you can just tell somebody today that you are, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not as much of a vespertine type. I'm a matutinal individual.
Wait a minute. Now you've thrown two of them.
Oh, well, that one's for nighttime. That's vespertine.
Vespertine.
Things of the nighttime. So
we don't need to worry about that because we're matutinals.
That's right. Exactly. Good point.
We're the matutinal type around here.
Right.
However you use your words today,
Yes.
you matutinal individuals,
Yeah.
use them for joy. Use them to build up and encourage one another.
I think we just did.
Today is going to be great. We just know it. This is Rise Up with Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life.
I can certainly relate to this deer, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this deer as well. Now, the deer's okay. The deer was rescued from an ice-covered pond in Missouri. So it was just out there, and
no.
Right, and can you picture it right now? Picture that deer on the middle of a frozen pond. And what you can just picture
They're
what
like scatter, like their legs are trying really hard.
exactly what I look like when I'm ice skating.
Oh, dear.
Exactly.
Whatever happens today, know that God's got it. You're listening to Rise Up on Family Life.
Give me a slice of this. So the smart oven, new smart oven, It's got a camera inside. It can watch what you're cooking, detect what it is, and then give you some suggestions how you maybe should be cooking it. So just backseat driver, but now we have a back burner chef. So, you're gonna do a roast like that, huh?
I'm gonna get this notification that's like, you should order out.
Not the way I would have done it, but let me know how that turns out there, human. If you're having so much fun being told how to cook by your appliances, don't worry. You can share it with other folks. You can live stream from that camera inside your oven.
Wow.
Your food as it's cooking to your friends. Hey, watch this cheese bubble. It's so cool.
Wow. And then next week, it's going to be a live stream of me painting the living room. Because nothing's better than watching paint dry. Right?
May the blessings of the Lord be with you in all that you do today. This is Rise Up on Family Life.